awesome large as fuck old school death metal just hit, one that I've been personally waiting with anticipation. It's been 3 years since the release of their deadly debut EP, Brutal Butchery of Bargain Basement Bodies, and now on the back of their recently released single Friday the 13th Part 2 Anthem of Agony comes this, their 2020 release of their debut full-length album Complete Carnage of Coagulating Cacophonous Corpses. These guys really know how to pull a title together, right? Puncture Wound, this is the band I'm talking about, the mob responsible for this brutality. Sheer pulverization in a record. They hail from Queensland, here in Australia, and these five know how to old school death metal so well. Complete Carnage of Coagulating Cacophonous Corpses offers up 10 tracks and is completely relentless in its overall execution. This is old school death metal done as it should be, in my opinion, that being hard knock style, loaded with gore and offensive lyrical content, with lyrical themes feeling like a horror movie adaptation of the most heinous style. Puncture Wounds created this album lyrics to be vile, deeply anti-Christian and very callous. Think murder with sharp instruments and a lot of blood. These lyrics are definitely not for the faint-hearted or the easily offended, but hey, this is death metal, guys, and they certainly have kept this very imaginative and very cold. And clearly, Puncture Wound were not here to pick fucking strawberries with this one. Right from the first destroying track, Necro-Insemination, hearing how heavily riff-driven this was, an absolute crushing drum track, I knew it was a hell ride I was in for with this album. My favorite tracks, the struggle was so real. My God, I hate having to pick favorites, but okay, Murdercat, the pace of this track was so aggressive. It was such an aggressive assault of crushing riffage that just had me screwing my face up in heavy pleasure. The drum track on this one just cracked me open. Honestly, Alex is she just fucking destroys that drum kit. I've seen her live too, and she's an absolute force. Vocally, Gene is abrupt, he's harsh, and delivers the lyrics in such a nasty and stark, horrific way. His folds are deep and guttural, and he means business. The guitar solos within the track, while short-lived, was just deadly and added additional impact to the track. This one absolutely defeated me completely. Those heavily trem-picked, mean guitars were just so divine. This was a full throttle, annihilating track. The Void Mausoleum, oof, this one was killer, pardon the pun. Talk about a crescendo of frenzied metal composition right from the onset of this track. This one smashes and must be listened to at maximum volume, guys. The way in which the vocalist dispenses these lyrics just feels as if he's an ominously dangerous figure waiting to attack you in a dark alley. You don't want to mess with him. He just has such a style that never surrenders, and it impacts the insistent nature of this track hugely. The constant creative and weighted riffage persists with good breakdown and tempo mashups. This was such a large track for me. That rhythmic bass line, I mean, the guitars, the smashing drum tracks, it's an overall intoxicating and completely menacing listen, and it's definitely one of my favorite picks off this album. This album is completely threatening and terrorizing and has been produced to an exemplary level. I love how prominent each element has come up on this album. It stands up and shines on its own, complete with violent and very cool cover art, which you'll see at the end of this video. I really feel like Puncture Wound have nailed this debut full-length release, and yes, I'm a big fan, but who can blame me? The album closes out with a skillfully gorgeous and emotive guitar passage, with the underlying tone being that of looming doom. And I did just use gorgeous in a Puncture Wound review, but honestly, this felt like the closing credits of calm after the chaos, just as you would get after a well put together and frighteningly shocking horror film. Perfect ending. To Puncture Wound, guys, I absolutely love that you've stayed so true to this genre of old school death metal, and you haven't folded your style to conform purely to appease the PC warriors of the metal world. This album showcases all of Puncture Wound's artistry skill, and they just play so hard. So there you have it, Complete Carnage of Coagulating Cacophonous Corpses. It's up on Bandcamp for digital and physical purchases, so please support the band's total support. And thank you so much for the metal, guys. This has been my Albums of the Week.